What's up, people? Welcome back to another explanation video. Let's continue with the Ultimate Endgame series. So yeah, this time I want to talk about is the Rapier. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, a quick note as usual. If you want to see what armors and passives buffs that I use, I recommend to watch the gameplay for certain boss fights if that's what you're looking for. Other than that, I won't be showing it in this video. I will be just explaining some of the stuff that I use and my builds and stuff. So yeah, and that way I don't have to show everything. I mean, this is gonna be ridiculously long and makes no sense. And that way I will talk about the weapons, the setups, all that, etc. And that way it will make sense when you watch the gameplay. So that's the whole purpose of these explanation videos. So let's jump right into it with the Rapier. Now the Rapier you want to look for the end game is definitely the SP Midnight Rain. This is the best Rapier we can have as for our user. Now the ones you want to look for is pretty much all the stats it has. Strength, Dex, Agility as high as possible, including the attacks. And yeah, the Rapier is kind of hard to farm because there's so many different stats and the range goes really high, the same as the other weapons. And it can be a little bit tricky. So there's not going to be easy way to farm. It's just really just RNGs and etc. So yeah, let's go over to the customizations real quick. And the source skill I recommend people to use is the Flashing Penetrator and the Linear for the damage. And other than that, I use Quadruple Paint and Spica, and it's really good for the either skill connection or hazarding or even slow if you wanted to, like doing the arena and etc. So the Rapier is like the dagger. You can hazard the enemy really fast. You can slow them down with the sword skills, and you can do damage. So it's really good overall, like all around it weapons. And yeah, definitely want to do that. And the damage for the Flash Penetrator is definitely your main go-to damage sword skill. And let's go over the setups. Steel armor as usual with a down incarnation. There is not going to be much to say about that. And SP Azure Sky Boots. And how many people? I don't know how many people actually have this version, but if you don't, you can use the XT version from the East Supreme Ray. Or you could just put on anything with the Unrival on. It works just fine. But if you want to get the matching, adjustments, yeah, that's the only boots that are actually matching. But if not, don't matter. You can use the high dex, higher agility with Unrival. Works just fine, or doesn't even matching adjustment at all, just with Unrival. But other than that, there's another accessory that I want to talk about that you can technically use for pretty much all the other weapons if you don't really have any good accessories. Is the SP Rainbow Insect Charm. This has a Seizing Fury, so this is a good passive to have. You can put it on if you don't have any of these Unrivals, whatever. And this will be a really good for the end game as well. It can be serve as a good DPS. It actually stacks on top of the 2 Tiger results, so you don't have to worry too much. And other than that, yeah. And like Linear is good for the same DPS, the same for Flashing Penetrator, because they have the same adjustments. So the Spica, I have the same for the speed, so it's not gonna change too much. It's gonna be the similar thing, but if you want to use it for hazarding, you can put the hazard incarnation into it. It still hazard really fast. Other than that, yeah, this is my setup for the Rapier. It's not too complicated. I know people will want to use the Star Splash for the Sky Dancer, but this is not really a good skill at all. I mean, it's just you miss the target too easily. And you can try if you don't believe. So yeah, other than that, this is pretty much it. There's not many good Sky Dancers sword skills for the Rapier. If it does, it'll be insanely crazy. The other thing I want to mention is that when you're downing the enemy with a Rapier, just be careful. Especially when you're fighting a smaller enemy, you can't really down them that easily. So, other than that, items, always the String Food, Persona Anima, same thing, not gonna change too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup. The Recollection Jewel is always a good good accessory to put on no matter what weapons you use. Yeah, so other than that, this is pretty much it for the Rapier setups. It's quite straightforward. Like I said, these videos, they're not going to be extremely long because I basically cover everything already, so I'm just going to get to the point, and that's pretty much it for the Rapier. Hope you guys enjoy it. Until next time.